All right, the review for multiplying polynomials and adding and subtracting polynomials, but technically we're going to be doing that while doing this, because once you multiply them, after you get all these different pieces, you're going to add or subtract them, combine them together. So these 4 examples are on the actual review. Here we go. If you remember, it's been a little while. So this is a binomial. Binomial, bi meaning 2, nomial being numbers and stuff, is a term. So this is one term plus this term. There's 2 terms there. That's what binomials mean. And this is another binomial. And we're talking about polynomials. What's poly mean?
Like more than one.
Multiple, more than one, right? So polynomials means lots of numbers. Yay. They just don't want to say lots of numbers. They want to talk fancy. So this thing times that thing, I take x times x, and we get x squared. I then x times negative 12 is negative 12x. This guy multiplies to both people. He's now done. Cool? It's the 3's turn to do the same dang thing. I got 3 times x is plus 3x, and 3 times negative 12 is negative
36.
36, cool. Hopefully you saw, I've said this multiple times. Whenever I said 3 times 12, I wrote down negative, and then I stopped. That's literally you seeing into my brain right now. I don't try and do that all at once. 3 times 12, I know I'm a math teacher. That didn't just come to my head immediately. I did have this come immediately though. And then, cool, we're done. And now 3 times 12, okay, cool, 36. Anyway, now here comes adding and subtracting. I call this combining because we're just going to take them and squish them together with the like terms. Combine like terms, right? So x squared, he's by himself. He's none of those. I have x's and x's for a total of... What? Negative 9 x's, yes. Okay. Now, if you were to ask me, oh, do you add those or do I subtract those? I would say you combined those because this is negative 12 plus 3. Technically, that's adding. Or if you did 3 minus 12, that's technically subtracting. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You just have numbers with signs and you squish them together. That's it. Okay. So I have negative 9 x's. Great. They're by themselves, minus 36. We're done. Boom. Cool. Okay. Next one. I love this one. What's weird and what do you maybe notice about this one?
So they're both 11. They're basically the same thing except the signs.
They're basically the same, both R's, both 11s, but plus and a minus. You'll see what happens with that. This is very important when it comes to special cases factoring, which we'll get to next unit. R times R, R squared. I want you to go, ooh, whenever something interesting happens. This is math, nothing's interesting. When's this over?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Okay, anyway, R times R, R squared. Nothing too crazy. R times 11 is plus 11R. Cool. Negative 11 times R is minus 11R. Okay, 2 people. Come on. What's interesting about this?
They're the same thing except the signs are different.
They're opposites, right? And you'll see what happens in just a second. Negative 11 times positive 11 is negative 121. You probably put that in the calculator, or if you know your perfect squares, there you go.
Wow.
So when I combine these together, I ran out of room here. When I combine these together, you have R squared. What happens here? They cancel out. Because you have 11, you minus 11, you have nothing. And then you have minus 121. Cool, there's your answer.
Wow.
Cool, okay. Normally they don't cancel out like that, but in this case they did because they were exactly opposites of each other, okay? Cool. The thing I just erased was n minus 4 squared, okay? This is a huge curveball that they're going to try and throw at you on the test. What you do not do this. This is wrong. I'm going to write it in green because I don't have a red marker, so this is maybe a little awkward. It is not... Didn't go in the trash can either. This is just a series of unfortunate events right now. Here's another green one. We have n, oh, there we go, squared minus 16. People love saying this. Wrong. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. You'll see why, and you'll go, oh, when you see why. Probably won't, but I'll show you. Squaring this, you can't just sprinkle this to both of those. It doesn't work like that. Squared, if I said 5 squared, that's like saying what? 5 times 5. This twice. This twice, right? So I'm going to say n minus 4.
Oh.
So n minus 4 squared is like saying n minus 4
times n minus 4.
Twice, yeah, exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I do get my n times n is n squared. Yeah, okay, I see it. But then I get n times negative 4 is minus 4n. Negative 4 times n is minus 4n again. This is why it's not that, because then I have a negative 4 times a negative 4 is a positive 16. So I see the minus 16, but it's a negative times a negative is positive. Okay, so be careful with all those types of things. Okay, you see the n squared and the 16, but hopefully you see why it's not just, oh, squared, squared, I'm done. Okay, so my end answer is n, my end answer.
Ha. Ha.
End answer is n squared minus 8n plus 16. No, okay, there you go. Cool, done. Now, last one here is this one. This is just a little bit more complicated. I want you to be able to identify why though. What's a little bit weird about this one?
There's like
Different variables. It's not just x and a number and another x and a number. It's x's and y's and numbers, which is fine. So 4x times x is 4x squared. Cool. 4x times y is 4. What's x times y? X. Oh, I almost caught it. It was really cool. I would have gone on the video and made it in slow motion. All right. Anyway, so I have 4xy, right? 4 times 1, because there's one y, is 4 times 1 is 4. And then x and y, you just sit them right next to each other, so you have 4xy. Cool. All right. And then I have this guy is 5y times x. I'm going to put plus 5. What's my variable for that?
XY.
I'm going to put xy. Technically, I see yx, you know what I'm saying? But xy, yx, we had a whole conversation about that. That's the same thing. xy, yx, who cares? So it's going to be xy, because I already established that. Or if you want to be crazy, you could say yx and yx. I don't care. And then 5y times y is plus 5y squared. Cool. So again, a very similar thing happens. I have 4x squared from this guy. I have like terms here of plus 9 xy's plus 5y squared.
Wow.
Wow. Right? Done. So that is your review for the test. I have 2 videos before this one that you probably should also check out for addition if you really want to make sure that combining like terms thing works out, and have more complicated examples of multiplication if you want to kind of push yourself. This is about the level that you'll see on the test, but the video before this is a little bit more complicated if you're crazy. Go.